I'm back from shopping and it took me 3 hours to do everything that I wanted to do. And today's drink of choice is actually a smoothie for once. I was staring at the tropical smoothie and I don't know where I heard that they're like unhealthy actually. But I was craving fruit. I don't eat fruit like ever unless it's in a smoothie or some sort of boba tea. So today I got the sunrise sunset, which is, I'm not even sure what's in here, but it's really good. I'm gonna spell my name with an E. Anyway, I went to Ross, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods, and Trader Joe's, all in those 3 hours. And now I'm just getting back. And I accidentally walked out of TJ Maxx with this hat. It still has the like barcodes and stuff on it, and it had like the little TJ Maxx tag up here. I don't know how the lady didn't notice, but she didn't. And I just wore it because I was just like, I wanted to see if I liked it, and I walked out with it. And I'm telling myself I'll return it, but I don't know if I will. Honestly, that's not good. Which is crazy because this is like a deja vu moment from like the book that I'm writing. Anyway, where one of the characters seems to do that. But it's not me, I promise. What was I talking about? Oh yes, okay, so today I want to talk about anxiety. If you know, my TikTok has kind of been like blowing up a little bit, and I've been getting a lot of comments where people have been saying this isn't anxiety, this is something else, this is, you know, just different opinions, which is 100% warranted and welcomed. A lot of people called my videos not anxiety videos but overthinking videos, which makes sense, but I do want to point out overthinking is a symptom of anxiety. So is that a heart? Oh, it's just a circle. Is a symptom of anxiety, so technically still anxiety. But yeah, I don't know, I want to talk about it. Maybe should I turn, I don't know, it's hot out, I don't know if I should, that's a risk. We'll keep it for now, hopefully the audio is good. But I wanted to talk about anxiety and what it seems to like be, because so many people don't recognize that they have it, and I wasn't diagnosed with GAD until I was 24, so which is generalized anxiety disorder. Yeah, I was just in Trader Joe's and I was walking around, and one thing I seem to do, and I do think it's a symptom of anxiety, is not really look people in the eye when I'm just walking around. Like when it's a customer service exchange, it just seems to be easier that way. It's it's less intimate. I don't know if it's just a me thing or it's an anxiety thing, I have no idea. But I do that when I walk around. I do that when I talk to like employees and stuff. And I feel like it's, inside I kind of feel like it's rude, but it helps me get through the interaction like quicker. I don't know. And it just feels less intimate. But these girls, Trader Joe's employees are always so nice. And these girls were like asking me questions. How's your day? Is it going good? Like genuinely asking, like they were having like a good time talking to each other. And I was like, yeah, good. And in my head, I'm like, why didn't you ask if she was good? Like, why didn't you ask how her day was going? Like, those were immediately the first thoughts that came in my head. And still, I kept quiet. And then I finally remembered something. And I asked them if this girl that my cousin knows works there, and they found her, they brought her out, and she was like, oh my god, I can't believe she's talking about me. We had a cute little moment, and I was like, well, have a good day. And I felt like, wow, I did really good with that interaction. But then I was walking out because they gave me my stuff. I was walking out and I realized, oh, I can't find my keys. I might have left them inside. And the first thought that crossed my mind was, if you do go back in there, do not make eye contact, don't look, and don't ask for help from those girls. Whoa, that sounds awful. Not because they weren't nice, they were super nice and helpful. It wasn't because of that, it's because I ended that whole interaction on a positive note. Me saying, have a good day, and her saying, you too, back was like a perfect moment in time. And by me going in there and asking them to help me find my keys, I feel like ruins it. Not only ruins it, but ruins the impression that they have of me in their head. Because in my head, what I'm thinking is that they believe that I'm good, I'm cool, I'm like, oh, that girl is so nice. That's the last impression I want to have. And I don't know what it is about impressions and like going through, and I just feel like when you make friends, especially new friends with people, all the interactions that you have with them are all just impressions. Like they're all these moments, and I always want them to be positive. So if I feel like I'm going in there to bother them and essentially ask them to run around with me, I'm bothering and I'm ruining it. And I'm no longer this mysterious, cool, nice girl who came in and had a connection, but like instead I'm just like another customer who's like needing them for something. And that can feel really like this. And that happens when I like run into someone and I say something like, oh my god, your outfit is so nice, and they're like, oh my god, thank you, your outfit is nice too, and we separate, and then I happen to see them again later on, but from a distance, and I immediately avoid them. And why do I do that? And I truly believe it's a symptom of anxiety. I'm not even sure how to categorize it that way, but I'm almost positive it's a symptom of anxiety. And I'm just realizing like going through life like that is so difficult, but it makes me so happy when I can leave knowing that things were positive. Like I don't know, maybe it's to avoid awkwardness, I don't know, but yes, anxiety is a thing. I don't know what I don't think that's overthinking. I do think, well, maybe it is overthinking, but it's definitely something that contributes to anxiety and how I interact in the world and how I just function. Yeah. A lot of other comments that I was seeing was just people saying, this is me, I relate, I had no idea I had anxiety. That made me feel really good because I didn't know that I had an actual disorder with anxiety. And I realized that something that's common to say now is that a lot of people live in their disorders or just like get comfortable in them. And truth is, I don't want this. I think anxiety has some pros in terms of it helps keep me on my toes in a sense. Like it reminds me how to treat people. It reminds me it's off for me. It's awful for me. Like, but it does allow me to always be thinking about other people and others, and it's exhausting and it's not fun, but it's, I think, helpful in helping me interact. And it can make interactions super hard. It can make meeting new people super hard, and going to places where there's people, going to places where there's acquaintances, it makes all of those interactions hard because you think about them a lot, and you like prep, and you get worried when people go off script, and because you just don't know how it's gonna go, and that's where anxiety kind of lives, in fear, in the unknown. But I really think it's helpful to know that you have anxiety instead of just living life, because and I'm not against labels. Like, labels can be super helpful. Labels can box you up, but they could also be super helpful, because once you know, hey, I'm actually struggling with this thing called anxiety, you can do research, you can look it up, you can learn what triggers you, you can find ways to cope, you can find tools, and that is super helpful because it helps you navigate life with the right things instead of just guessing. And it also helps you relate to other people, like my videos, for example. But knowing that you have it and being aware of it doesn't mean that you're stuck like that and that's it. It's a lot of work to cope and to figure out what helps you. And oh, somebody's coming. Y'all, be cool. Cool. I'm just gonna pretend. I know my phone's here. I'm just gonna pretend I'm on a phone. See, this is anxiety. They went the other way. Thank God. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. But yeah, anxiety really, I think the label itself is really helpful. And I also wanted to make some videos about depression. I don't have as much experience with depression. I think in my entire life, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually felt depressed. And I think that's a total of two times. The second time being the worst. Awful, like, took me out. And I think, I actually watched a video of a girl talking about how she had a friend who suffered with severe depression, and she believes that it was actually anxiety that made her friend end her life. Her friend suddenly went through anxiety for the first time, and it like froze her, and it destabilized her, and she wasn't able to do anything. As a person who has lived with anxiety for, be cool. I think they're coming back from the beach. Okay. Ooh, that's a really cool towel that they got. So as a person who has just lived with it for so long, I know, like I said before, I've done my research, I've learned, I've gone to therapy, I know how to deal with it to a certain extent. I know how to behave and mask it like it doesn't exist at all. I know how to move forward. So it doesn't destabilize me. If I know I'm going somewhere it's going to cause me a lot of anxiety, I still go. I push through. I do it. And it's the hardest thing ever. It really, really is. And there are days where the anxiety wins. But I force myself because I want to be better and I want to do better as a person. And I don't want it to be my life because it doesn't define me. It's only a tiny part of me. So there's so much more to me. And where I think it's different for people with depression is if you've lived your entire life with depression and that's all you know how to deal with it, you know when it's coming, you're aware of it. I'm sure you've learned a thing or two about how to deal with it to a certain extent. And then when you're hit with anxiety, I'm sure that I more than believe that can be destabilizing. That can really mess you up. It was the opposite for me because when depression hit me, I really thought, wow, this is the end. Can't imagine how people live with depression for years, even months. But I went through weeks and I was like, whoa, never again. What can we do? What can we do to like make sure that we prevent this? And that was bettering myself to a point where I'm strong, to the point where I have a tougher skin. And I feel like the internet helps with that a lot. But also talking to a licensed professional, talking to a therapist who was able to like walk me through it. But I feel like there was so much more work to do, but then my insurance ran out or something. I don't know what happened there, but I wish I was still in therapy to this day. But because it's been over a year. Yeah, I just think it's super interesting how depending on what you're experiencing the most is what ends up destabilizing you. But I do want to make depression videos. I want to talk a little bit what it might be like. Recently a really famous video on depression went viral. I don't even know if it was on depression, but it was on like men's mental health, and it was like two guys at like these football matches. I think they were like, soccer matches, football matches. And the one that was like so happy and sharing and giving was the one that was suffering with mental illness versus the one that was like kind of there and just like sad and just like not talking. And I think that's so true. I think it's real. I 100% see it. Like there are definitely days where I was going through depression where you would never have been able to tell because I was so good at hiding it. It's almost like it required that I behave happier and that I was just more open and that I was just more like fun. And yeah, I wouldn't have been able to tell, so how could anyone else have been able to tell? Only very few select people knew. And I think and I even made videos during that time, so that speaks a lot. But it's a lot of work and it's exhausting, so I don't know. I want to make those videos too, eventually get around to them. Right now I just want to go through everything that anxiety has to offer in terms of like relatability and stories. But thank you so much to everyone who's been watching my videos. It has been such a joy to like be seen in such a big way. I was always being seen, but like now it's so huge and bigger than me and important. And I'm so glad people are relating, and I'm so glad people are finding connection in it. It's so cool, and I just really enjoy making the videos too, so it's fun. It's fun going through the process of like, what do I usually think when I'm in these situations, and then just saying what I'm thinking, because if you've seen the videos then you know what I'm talking about. And I've been blessed to like have a video reach 1.5 million in a day, and that's crazy to me. That's actually shocking, because it's been forever since a video has even hit 50k. I'm talking like, I think it's been over almost a year since a video has hit 50k. So for a video of mine to hit 100 million, to hit 1 million is just mind-blowing to me, and I'm gonna stick with it, because before what I would do is get videos that go viral and then I do my own thing and then I come back to that same concept and then I'm like surprised that it's not doing as well. No, I'm definitely gonna stick in this lane for a little bit and just, I don't want to say milk it, but just keep creating that type of content content and see how it goes. Oh, I'm excited. But thank you so much for watching everything. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video. Maybe what anxiety is actually like. I don't know. But also, look, I got these in finally. I had to cut it because they were just too long. But I think it looks so cute and it adds so much. The lighting is so weird. I don't like it. After 5 o'clock, the sun goes down and it looks so much better. But it's only 4, so yeah, I don't love it. Okay, bye.